was breathless, my heart restless. Every turn felt like it was wrong, but I kept going to show I was strong. Pushing to my own song, but you came, you made me see the weight I put on me was too much, too tough to heal. I needed time, I needed to be still. You came, you made me see the weight I put on me was too much, too tough to heal. I needed time, I needed to be still. Deep inside I felt so gone, broken, I held to every wrong. I'm letting your light shine, I'm letting your love work through me. In every moment, breathing this moment, you came, you made me see the weight I put on me was too much, too tough to heal. I needed time, I needed to be still, to know. You came, you made me see the weight I put on me was too much, too tough to heal. I needed time, I needed to be still.
Without you, I remember myself, my name. Forgot about all you tried to change. Familiar was the sound of your voice as I continue to walk on by. It has been a year and now I'm living on the line. It has been a year and now I'm thinking what's mine, that I'm better off right here without you. a scratch, only the scar remains. For we are better apart from all the pain, distant like the stars above. There's no love I cannot see. And in a moment, that's when I knew I'm better off right here without you. That I'm better off right here without you. That I'm better off right here without you. When I close my eyes before going into universe, I think about the moment we were hoping wouldn't end, because I never knew it was my imagination. I never wanted to say what I said, I just wanted an explanation. When I close my eyes before going into universe, I think about the moment we were hoping wouldn't end, because I never knew it was my imagination. I never wanted to say what I said, I just wanted an explanation. Never wanted
just lit this town like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain tonight. We gonna let it rain tonight. We gonna let it just like the sunrise. We gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain tonight. We gonna let it rain tonight. We gonna let it just like the sunrise. We gonna let it rain.
Made a mistake last night. Maybe I can make it right. Sit down closer, baby. We can talk about it. No need to be mad. Hate to see you sad. Yes, I know I'm crazy, crazy about you, crazy about you.
Round 6 of the championship brings us to the Principality of Monaco for Monaco GP. Look out for safety cars and drama as these drivers look to challenge themselves for 39 laps around this short street circuit. Once again in the booth we have BRL Blue Flag and BRL Aldifer Jr. As we head into qualifying, let's learn a bit about the track. Aldifer, take it away.
Thank you, friend. Today we're going to be visiting the circuit here in Monte Carlo. It's in beautiful downtown Monte Carlo here in Monaco with a capacity of 37,000 seats. That's not including the boats and the yachts that are just offshore that attend this race. This is a beautiful, beautiful circuit. We're looking at... Oh, my page just disappeared. Well, that sucks. Well, it's a beautiful track. So... it's 19 turns, it has a lot of variations here, and also something new that we have learned today. The hairpin, the famous turn 6, is no longer known as the Lowe's hairpin. According to the FIA, it has now had a name change to the Grand Hotel hairpin. So if you hear us refer to the hairpin as Grand Hotel, do not think we are wrong because we just studied this for 45 minutes. It is indeed have a name change. is no longer the Lowe's hairpin, it's the Grand Hotel hairpin. The track sits at just over about 250 feet above sea level at its highest point, and is a beautiful track with 19 turns, a few long straightaways that really aren't even straightaways. You have from turn 1 to 3, and then from turns 8 all the way down to the Nouveau chicane, and then a short chute before you get to Quebec, and then another decent sized straightaway as you make the final little chicane out of 18 and 19 on the run past the start finish straight down to Saint Deveau. But now we can hear some cars firing up. Looks like we got a Force India that's about to be coming out on track. Blue flag, can you see who that is?
We will be in a second. Just
It was Ritzy Raccoon, that's who it was. An Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, the Alpha Ritzy on the hard compound tire. Interesting tire choice there. For Ritzy, as he's going to be the first car heading out into the streets here, as he's heading into Casino Square currently. Looks like the Renault BRL Skeppy's next out with I think it's McLaren. That's going to be Weiser Square coming out right behind him. As we'll get a great shot from the Grand Hotel. I think Ritzy just got wing damage, or no, he didn't. Looked like he did. Look for any other drivers out. Big Mr. Brown, the teammate of Ritzy Raccoon, he's out on course now. And so is Whiffy Winner, the fast charging Canadian.
Ooh, now if he doesn't have wing damage, I'll be surprised. And he does.
Yep.
Ritzy Raccoon just made the mistake down there in the chicane coming out of tunnel. The Nouveau chicane, he barely grazed the left-hand wall on turn 11, so now he's going to have to make his way into pit lane and get a new front wing. You can see him taking off now into pit lane. He's going to have to get that front wing changed and come out on a new set of tires.
We're going to go on board with Skeppy, though. Skeppy coming down the front straightaway, starting his first lap, heading up into turn 1. Such a short front straight. The only DRS activation zone as they head up the hill towards Casino Square, as there's a yellow in sector 3. I don't know what that's about. Skeppy flying up the hill into Casino Square, heading down the hill, avoiding what is actually a tree route into Grand Hotel hairpin. Nice wide line, cutting it in, touching the curbs, and then taking a nice wide line out as he heads towards the tunnel to as he's in the tunnel now, Skeppy, heading down towards the Nouveau chicane. And oh, it looks he got a little bit on the curbs there. Might have invalidated his lap. We'll see though. As he's heading into
that's
this
one of those
section.
corners that you can really cut. You can get right on top of that curb and really eat that curb with the middle of the car, and it doesn't get you for an invalidation. So that may have been close, but I think he's going to be okay, and we're going to see our first time set as he crosses the line here.
Yep, and here he comes across the line. What is it going to be for his first lap? A 1:11.3, so solid lap there from BRL Skeppy is his first lap of the session. Let's see, we have Max Israel on a out lap. It looks like we'll go on board with Whiffy Winner, as he's going to be looking to finish his first flyer of the session. It looks like Weiser Square is going to be right in front of him though. So we'll go look at Weiser Square as he gets a little bit of a lock up there at the penultimate corner, but he heads it onto the main straight. So does Whiffy right behind him. See where Weiser Square sets. It's a 1:12. Let's see what Whiffy Winner does. Whiffy Winner goes to the top of the session with a 1:11.2. SF1 Cardinal, I think a newcomer this week. SF1 Cardinal.
Yes, SF1 Cardinal is a newcomer this week. Another headlining story is if you look on the left-hand side of your screen, you will see that Mex Stylo is nowhere to be found. He has been moved up. He no longer drives in Tier 2. He has been moved up into Tier 1. So now the drivers are very hungry for some wins.
Most definitely, and a person that could be hungry for that win, if we're on board with him right now, it's going to be BRL Maverick, the championship, one of the championship contenders. Heads towards Anthony Nodes to finish his first flying lap as he comes across the main straight And it crosses the line. What's it going to be? It's only going to be good enough for 4th right now, 1:11.6. About 3/10 slower than his teammate of Skeppy. Skeppy in 2nd right now. But
Well,
Whiffy
and one
went a
thing to
great lap
point
on those
out,
mediums.
yeah, I was just going to say that Whiffy Winner's on mediums, and everybody else except for Weiser and McLaren has set a lap time on softs. So currently Whiffy is faster on the harder compound than everybody else that's set a lap time,
Mex
including
Israel.
Mex Israel.
Yeah. Here comes Ritzy. Ritzy's on a flyer currently on the hards. Let's see what he can do in the alpha. As he comes close to the barrier there into the swimming pool section. Pushing the car to the limit. That's something you'll see here today. People pushing the cars to the limit. Because that's what it's all about here at Monaco. As he comes across the start finish line, what is his lap time going to be? It's going to be good enough for A, the 1:14.8. So definitely off the pace, but be in mind he is on those harder compound tires. As it looks like BRL Skeppy's on an out lap again. Brand new set of softs.
Mr. Brown's coming on down the start straight. He's about to start his first hot lap. He's running a set of mediums as he really cooks it down into Sandoval. Makes his way up through Beau Rivage. He's going to come up into turn 3, which is a very hard, almost off-camber left to a very quick right. Goes out really wide right there. Does he have wing damage?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Wow.
He does have wing damage.
still
I
going
thought
for
something seemed... Well, something seemed a little off whenever he went through Manzanet.
Oh, he went very wide there at Grand Hotel. I think that just threw his lap time in the bin as he loses even more of his wing there. So I think that's his lap time over. As he's missing.
Skeppy's just come through swimming pool. He's about to start a lap.
Yeah, and Skeppy a big talking point. So close to podiums this season, but hasn't been able to strike luck yet. Hopefully, with this race, he can finally get lucky, and maybe even we can even see a Renault 1-2. Who knows? It's all up in the air as Skeppy heads up to the hill. Heads up the hill towards turn 3 on his second flyer, heading into Casino Square now. Is he's gonna fly there? He's gonna swing right, avoid the tree route into Grand Hotel. He comes, takes a nice clean line there. Almost touches the barriers, not quite though, as he heads towards the tunnel. Let's see where Skeppy is on sector. He just went purple sector 1 there. So Skeppy definitely flying as he heads into the Novell chicane. Into the Novell chicane he comes. Now he's going towards the second split time. What is it going to be? Is it going to be purple still? It is. He went 2/10 up. He is still purple. Skeppy is on a flyer as Whiffy Winner's on his outlap. He's on soft compound tires. As here comes Skeppy to Anthony Nose down the main straight. What is his lap time going to be? He is pushing so hard right now. And it's going to be provisional pole with a 111.0. But Whiffy Winner, we set at 111.2 a medium, but he's on those soft compound tires now, Altifer.
Well, one thing to also note, earlier in practice, some of us were talking about it. We did a mixed practice earlier with Tier 1 drivers and Tier 2 drivers. The game will only allow you to get a minimum fuel load of about 4.3 laps. So you come out here with extra fuel. So some guys are actually doing 2 steady out laps to try to burn fuel off of the car and then going for a hot lap, which I didn't get to see what Whiffy did as we see him on an out lap again now on a set of softs. He's about to start a hot lap. It looks like he just came out of the pit lane. He's already pushing, so he's not going to go for that idea. He's just going to go straight away. So let's see what he does here. I'm expecting him to be our first sub 111. He'll be in the 110s for sure this lap, without a mistake.
Yep, up the hill he goes towards turn 3 and Casino Square. And it looks like we have a slow car in sector 2 near the Novell chicane. I think
It's going to be Funky Cactus moving out of the way currently.
Yep, into Grand Hotel comes Whiffy Winner. Whiffy Winner taking a nice line into the hairpin. Making sure he's feathering that throttle. Doesn't want to spin up those rear tires as he heads towards the tunnel in his second split. As he heads down towards the Novell chicane, braking heavy all the way down to second gear, sometimes first if you want to get more rotation. Down to first, and he's going to come up all the way to sixth, down to fourth. Is he going to be purple? He is going to be purple by over half a second. So we may be seeing our first sub.
Ooh, he's really cooking
11.
it. Ooh, I was afraid he was going to outbrake himself right there.
Now,
Grasscast is a corner
qualifying.
you'll really catch yourself out at.
And wow, he goes with a 110.5, so definitely making a statement if he is. And that's the thing with qualifying here at Monaco. It's kind of just, you have to go balls to the wall. You have to take those risks. And so
Yeah, let's note this right here. Our current P6 driver on the mediums, Mex Face Taste. It's the same guy that you've been seeing that we've all been calling McFace Taste. He has had a name change, but it is the same driver. He just went out and set a 111.9 in the Haas on mediums. So it looks like once he bolts on a set of softs, he could possibly go sub 111s as well.
And Big Mr. Brown's going to be finishing his first line lap on the soft compound tire. Here he comes across the main straight. What is his lap time going to be? It is going to be good enough for 10th, a 112.9 for Big Mr. Brown in the Alpha. So the two Alphas sitting 10th and 11th right now. As it looks like Tizonic is on a flyer. As he's
SF1
heading.
Cardinal is also on one.
And Tizonic is, I think, right behind a Racing Point. That's gonna be
Funky Cactus.
And Funky Cactus on cooldown, I believe. And his Tizonic, though, is on his flyer into the tunnel towards the Novell chicane. It might be getting tricky here with, oh, the Racing Point does get out the way. I was about to say it was going to be tricky with him being there. As, oh, he was, the Racing Point loses wing back there. As Tizonic heads towards the swimming pool section now. And wow, he hit the wall there, but he's still going. Tizonic into Rascast, and then Anthony Nodes. Tizonic coming around the last corner down the main straight. He's gonna have a lot less downforce here, but it is gonna be good enough for 7th there. So good lap from Tizonic in the Toro Rosso.
Yeah, while we were away following him, SF1 Cardinal, the newcomer in the Haas, just went sub 111 on a set of softs, a 110.7. So unfortunate that we did not catch that, as some yellows are being waved here in Sector 2.
BRL Skeppy's on a flyer. He's at the Casino Square right now. And let's see how far he's up on his lap. He's purple in Sector 1, Alderford.
Yeah, beautiful coming down into the Grand Hotel hairpin. Got to be in first gear. Might go to second. He does. He's going to stay in second coming to this corner. Light braking. Get back on the throttle. Nice and easy going into tunnel. As we've got Orange Crush up against the wall in the tunnel. Skeppy coming down here. Coming down to the Nouveau chicane. Very, very carefully getting through there. It's a very tight, very tricky chicane. He gets through there very well to the left-hander right here. Ooh, see a bit of carbon fiber there laying in the middle of the track, blue flag, as he goes around swimming pool very quickly. That may have been a cut. That was very close as he's hard on the brakes. A little bit of a lockup coming into Rascast. Here he comes. Oh, and there's been a wreck right in front of him.
Oh, that's Max Israel.
Crashed out.
But
right
he
there on
ghosted
exit.
right through him. He ghosted right through him.
But
And
Skeppy didn't improve.
no, he did. He went and performed a 110.8, so it's gonna keep him in third. It's not quite good enough for pole, but he does have another chance to get back out there, Alderford.
I feel like he probably would have gotten pole right there. I feel like he really let out of the throttle and was worried about Mex Israel's car being there. It's very strange for a car to ghost that quickly. I've actually never seen one smash a wall and then ghost immediately, so that was very fortunate for him.
BRL Maverick's coming down the main straight now. He's going to be finishing his flying lap. Let's see if he can improve at all. Where does he jump up? He jumps up to 4th. So right now it looks like a Renault second row if the way things stand right now. So good result from the two Renaults.
Well,
as-
Maverick is still pushing. He is trying to get back to pit lane for another run. Earlier in practice, I did see him go faster than a 1:10.5.
He just went purple in sector 1. I don't think
He's
I
going
don't
for
think he's
another
going for the
one.
pit. I think he is going for another one because he just went purple in sector 1.
Go Maverick. 2-lap old softs. Go for it. He knows that these tires, we were talking about it earlier in practice. He was saying these tires can last a very long time. He is very comfortable on this track with these tires. Coming down in the Nouveau chicane, he gets through there beautifully. That's the best I've seen anybody get through there all day. He's probably going to purple sector 2 as he goes through Tobacco right there. He does purple sector 2. All he's got to do is get through swimming pool, which he does very well. Just barely hops the curb. Coming into Rascas, hard on the brake pedal, let that gearbox do the work. He's going to be coming through the final
coming
turn.
down the main straight. What's
He's
lap
gonna
time
get
going to be? It's going to be pole for
It's a
Maverick.
1:10.1.
Wow, he went 7/10 quicker there. Now can his teammate answer, or can Whiffy Winner 10 near the Grand Hotel hairpin? He's going to be starting his last qualifying laps shortly. Let's see if anybody else. SF1 Tom, he hasn't set anything reasonably competitive here at Monaco yet. In the Ferrari, Big Mr. Brown, he's on a hot lap. We'll watch him for a bit while we wait for our heavy hitters to really get out there. As Tizonic decided to jump onto the softs for his final flying lap, started Max Face Taste. It's going to be yellow in sector 2 as BRL Skeppy is now out of the pits. He's heading out to his out lap, as so is a lot of people. But Big
I'm
Mr.
going to
Brown,
follow along with Skippy.
Rascas, Big Mr. Brown, heading into Anthony Nodes down the main straight. What is his lap time going to be? Is he going to be improved at all? Is he going to be ahead of SF1 Tom? And he doesn't improve. He's a 1/10 down. So we'll go to Funky Cactus. Oh, and Funky Cactus is spun at Novell Chicane. But he has just gone back going. There was no cars around, so no harm, no foul. But Mex Face Taste, he's at Grand Hotel Hairpin. He's on a flyer right now. As he heads towards the tunnel and the Novell Chicane. Yep, into the tunnel goes Mex Face Taste. As Whiffy Winner's also on a hot lap. Let's see where he is on course. He just skipped the Novell Chicane. So I think
He's doing it on purpose. He's trying to burn fuel and then get to the line and go again.
That's also
which he's probably going to make it.
It's also, you have to be in mind, that's also against the sporting code now. They're
Is
starting to crack
Skeppy
down
starting
on
his
it.
hot
Oh,
lap?
he's backing out. Whiffy Winner's going into the garage. Skeppy just started his hot lap. Skeppy has a chance to make it a Renault 1-2 on the grid because SF1 Cardinal didn't get a chance to make it out. Max Face Taste didn't get a chance to improve at all.
Skeppy did not purple sector 1.
Skeppy's gonna have to pray for a miracle. He just has to
As
make
he
up
touches
3
the wall
tenths.
barely on exit out of the Grand Hotel of Hairpin.
Yep,
Coming
no
down
damage
the tunnel, he's
though.
wide into the
Oh, into the wall. There goes
wall. Pushing
Skeppy.
hard. He's
Tough
gonna
luck
retire
for
the
the Canadian.
car. Funky Cactus is coming through. He has invalidated his lap.
Let's see, SF1 Tom. SF1 Tom's kind of stuck at Rascas.
Ooh,
He might
Weiser
have
Square
spun.
just wiped out in swimming pool.
LDR Redeemer's at. Oh! And LDR Redeemer almost did the same thing. He tapped the wall there. He's into Rascas right now. Here he
Tom's
comes
out
towards
of
the final
fuel.
corner. Touches the wall. He hit the. He lost an input. Heads towards the main. The start finish line. What is it gonna be? He's gonna jump up to 6th. So the 3rd row is gonna be occupied by both Racing Points, who both have wing damage right now. But that is gonna be your qualifying session here at the Monaco Grand Prix.
Yes, interesting. The only car in the top 10 that's not on softs is Tizonic on the mediums. So he's going to be the only car in the
Tizonic
top
set.
10 that's going to be stretching.
Tizonic set the. I think on the. I think
On
he
my
set
screen,
that
I have it set for best, and it's showing him on mediums.
He didn't complete a lap the softs then. But that is going to be your qualifying. Let's run through the order. BRL Maverick's going to be getting pulled today ahead of Whiffy winner. SF1 Cardinal in his debut is going to be starting the second row with Haas, with Skeppy alongside him, and his countryman Funky Cactus in fifth, with LDR Redeemer in sixth, SF1776 is seventh, Max Face stays in eighth, Wyger Square in ninth, Tazonic in 10th, and now for your bottom four, to Ritzy Raccoon is going to be 11th, Max Israel in 12th, SF1 Tom, disappointing qualifying for him, he's going to be in 13th, and Big Mr. Brown 14th, with Orange Crush rounding out your grid here for the Monaco GP as we head into 39 laps of basically trying to drive it right every lap.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks where you really need to remain patient and disciplined. This is one of those procession tracks. It's the only track on the Formula One circuit that we call a procession, because most of the time this race is won in qualifying and or the pit lane. It's very rarely do we see many overtakes on this track, so everybody needs to be very disciplined on their way in and out of pit lane, because I think we're only going to see this as a one-stop race. A lot of guys earlier in practice were talking about going softs to mediums. May see some soft to hard runners, might see some two-stop guys depending on safety cars, which I think we probably will see at least one safety car due to the Grand Hotel hairpin.
Definitely can count on it.
But basically, it's a
With
2-mile
our
circuit
24
with
view,
19 turns, so you have to be very, very careful because it's the smallest track on the F1 calendar. You can barely get two cars next to each other in most of these turns. So it's going to be very, very exciting for the first few laps until everybody gets spread out.
most definitely. As we are up to 25 viewers in the live stream. If you guys are watching, make sure you please drop a comment in the chat. Ritzy Raccoon's gonna pass the safety car. Who knows? As Maverick's gonna be leading him off for the formation lap. Up the hill he goes. Great qualifying for him. He definitely has to be feeling good, especially with his championship rival SF1 Tom all the way down in 13th. But then you also can't forget Whiffy Winner right behind him. Whiffy Winner's the fast Canadian, the hard charging Canadian, we like to say, as we get a beautiful shot of the cars coming through the Grand Hotel hairpin for the formation lap. So everybody's taking it nice and easy. Let's see if anybody got sent back yet. Nope. I know in Formula 2 we had quite a few drivers get sent back. As BRL Maverick just kind of skipped the Novell chicane up there a bit, as he's gonna slow up and wait for everybody else. And he gets the
Well,
group
and that may
going.
be something that he does on purpose, because you don't want to get these tires too hot. One of the things that a lot of drivers were complaining about in practice today was tire temperature. It only takes about 1 to 2 laps of running on the surface to overheat the left front tire to the point to where you have no grip around 3/4 of this track. So everybody is trying to run the least amount of camber that they can, but you're still going to have to deal with tire temperature. So we're really going to have to keep an eye on cars losing front grip due to tire temperature issues.
As we are getting ready to get gridded up for the Monaco GP, I'm excited. I hope everybody else here watching, all of our 24 viewers, are excited as we're waiting for that Ferrari of Orange Crush to get gridded up. And now we wait for the lights. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here at Monaco. And it is green. Let's see who can get a good start. Is it going to be Maverick? Maverick's going to be looking to cut off Whiffy Winner. He does. He cuts off Whiffy Winner. SF1 Cardinal's going to try and look at a gap. Oh, Whiffy Winner's in the wall, and there's already a massive pile up. People are bumping each other. Whiffy Winner's already down to 6th place. Skeppy up to 3rd, and we already have a virtual safety car all deferred.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch what happened. I was busy trying to look at the tire situation. Unfortunate that we had this early, but it's something that we can't say that we didn't expect. Tier 2 is very, very crazy. Everybody wants to go for every position as early as they can, especially at Monaco. You want to try to make moves as early as possible because as the longer the race goes on, the harder the moves are to make.
And it looks like they are going to be going green again shortly. Just waiting for the officials to go ahead and give the green light. As BRL Tier has moved up to third now, so Estefan Cardinal finds himself in between two Renaults, which could be a tricky situation for him. He could find himself being set up by Maverick to let his teammate go by as they go green flag racing again. So Maverick gonna try and build that lead as Skeppy gets already gets around Estefan Cardinal. It is now a Renault 1-2 flashbacks of last year with Ferrari, with Sinkscar and myself leading the field with a 1-2 in the same team in the same tier actually.
Just looking down the field, we got quite a few cars here in pit lane. The Red Bull Toro Rossos have double stacked each other.
We have what is that? 6 cars in pit?
7?
6.
6? Yeah, 6. But everybody's now making their way out except for Tizonic. He came in right behind his teammate, and Tizonic is being held up for quite a while. He may have actually had a penalty that held him up in there, as he and Big Mr. Brown are just now going to exit pit lane.
Yep, and they're going to be over a half a lap down. That's the issue at pitting in Monaco, as the 2 racing points are now 4th and 5th following each other. Great start for them as they begin to hunt down the Haas of SF1 Cardinal.
SF1 Cardinal is really in a sandwich right now. He's in a team sandwich. Basically, BRL Skeppy and Maverick are going to just try to drive away from him, but Redeemer is going to try to catch up to him, and then once he does, he may make the move and then try to hold up our newcomer Cardinal until his teammate Funky Cactus can make a move on Cardinal, and then the 2 racing points make their way through. So we could see some team strategy play out as Next Israel picks up a 5-second time penalty. And SF1 Tom, purples, he sets our fastest lap time on a set of mediums.
Yep, great lap from SF1 Tom as he's starting to cut and slice his way through the field as he tries to make his way up the grid. As Mex Israel gets another penalty for spinning in the pit lane. So, not going Mex Israel's way today as he's already in the pits, I think, for a second time there, Alderford.
Yeah, it's unfortunate as we see SF1 Cardinal really not losing touch of the Renault in front of him. Skeppy has not pulled away as I thought he might. So right now, SF1 Cardinal...
Oh, we have a yellow sector too.
I'm just trying to figure out what that would be. I think it happened in Lowe's. Or excuse me, the Grand Hotel Hairpin. My apologies. Please don't sue me for calling it the wrong name.
As they head down the start lap for Maverick, leading his teammate by 2.6 seconds, followed by SF1 Cardinal about a second back on Skeppy. And then you have the 2 racing points of LDR Redeemer and Funky Cactus. And then you have the Mercedes of SF1776 in 6th. Weiser Square in the McLaren, he's going to be in 7th. The 2 Ferraris going to be 8th and 9th. And then you have the Toro Rosso of Whiffy Winner in 10th. He's not had the greatest start. Max Facetaste, another person who's struggling at the start. He's in 11th. Richie Raccoon in 12th. Zonic and the other Toro Rosso, he's in 12th. Big Mr. Brown, the Alfa Romeo driver in 14th. And Mix Israel in the Red Bull, he's going to be at the back of your grid. And he's almost going to get lapped soon by BRL Maverick. That shows you how small this circuit really is.
Yeah, it's only a 2-mile circuit, so if you make 1 or 2 mistakes, lose your front wing or overheat the front tires, it's really easy to go a lap down here, especially if you have to hit pit lane. So it's very easy to lose a lot of time and laps to the leaders. Just looking here in the chat right now on the stream, we have a couple of people that have asked a question. Ham Newton wants to know, how did Skeppy get into second? Well, Ham, as soon as we went from VSC back to green, Skeppy and Cardinal were coming into Rascaz. Cardinal was not prepared for it, and Skeppy made the move coming in and out of Rascaz and was able to take that position coming onto the front straightaway and secure it out of turn 1. So
Oh,
just
and
looking here in
Skeppy
chat,
runs
we got
wide
plenty
there.
of good. Ooh, unfortunate for him. He's going to
And
lose
now
time.
Yep, and Cardinals right on the rear of the Renault now. And don't forget the 2 racing points. They've basically just had a free ride all the way up to the battle for second now between 4 drivers. You have BRL Skeppy, SF1 Cardinal, LDR Redeemer, and Funky Cactus all now battling for that second position in the race.
Yeah, and meanwhile, let's not forget Maverick has checked out. He is 4.6 seconds ahead of the closest car in the running order as he has just put Mex Israel a lap down.
Yes, he has. It kind of just shows you the ruthlessness of this track. The fact that you can pit and then all of a sudden getting lapped by the leader of the race. As we're gonna focus on this train for a little bit. Let's see if anybody tries to make a move on this main straight into Sandoval, if I'm correct. That's gonna be your big overtaking position. As I think they're all a little bit too far spaced out to make any moves. But I think this group of 4 are going to work really well with each other for this race distance. As we look at the battle between Skeppy and Cardinal, Skeppy not being able to drive away from Cardinal, Cardinal still being able to keep up with the Renault. Something we thought wouldn't happen. We thought Skeppy would have got the move done early. He would have pulled away, but it is not the case here today.
Yeah, I'm just watching the gap here really closely. About a lap and a half ago, Skeppy was just under 4/10 in front of Cardinal. He seems to stretch it out everywhere throughout the track, except whenever they come into the Naval chicane. He seems to lose about 3/10. The Haas is just a little faster through there as we see Skeppy dealing with a little bit of oversteer there, coming through the final chicane onto the front straightaway. As SF1 has gone into pit lane, Merck has pitted, and he's going to bolt on a set of mediums already. So on lap 7, we have a driver who wants off his softs.
Yeah, that is very surprising. I think it might have been a little bit too early. As Skeppy once again runs wide going into Casino Square. I don't know if that's just his driving line preference or what, but he locks up heading into the Grand Hotel hairpin. So he's definitely feeling the pressure of the Haas breathing down on his neck.
And meanwhile, his teammates just driving away. A few laps ago, Maverick was only 4.3 seconds out in front. He's now 5.7 seconds out in front, excuse me. So I'm starting to wonder if Skeppy is like a bottle or a cork in a bottle right here, holding up these guys behind him. Is it possible that if Skeppy were not here in front of this train of 4, that SF1 Cardinal, Redeemer, and Funky Cactus would be catching Maverick or at least holding pace with him, as Maverick has put another 4, possibly 5/10 on him. As we have a yellow. Oh, Orange Crush has spun it. Orange Crush has spun it.
Also, I am hearing from the Renault camp, Skeppy does have front wing damage, so that's why he's not really able to build a gap when it comes to SF1 Cardinal.
So now the question is, how much wing damage does he have? We're looking, okay, he is missing his left front end plate. Excuse us, we're very sorry. Oh, is there contact? Oh, and the two, look at that, the two Force Indias, excuse me, the Racing Points are going to drive through that and pick up P2 and P3. Beautiful driving by those two, working as a team together to make their way around drivers left of that wreck to now move into P2 and P3. I'm curious, are these two going to start running down our leader, or are they just going to be where they are? Skeppy definitely going to want to pit soon now.
It is definitely a possibility, but these two Racing Points working very beautifully together as they are now both in podium positions. People I did not have on my radar today, actually. So they completely caught me off guard when I saw them running 4th and 5th, and now 2nd and 3rd. SF1 Cardinal, though, he's recovered well. He's ready on the back of them in the Haas. He's about at 1.2 back on the pair. As BRL Skeppy probably is going to stop his lap. Yep, straight into the pits goes Skeppy. Weiser Square is going to move up into 5th place. SF1 Tom's going to move up in the 6th. And I think Whiffy Winner's going to move up in the 7th. It's going to be quite the reshuffling order here.
Well, they just put Skeppy up on the jacks. He's getting a new front wing from the Renault team. They just bolted on a set of mediums. He is now pulling out of his pit box, running down pit limit at that very slow crawl of 37 mile an hour for that pit limiter as he's coming out. He's going to cycle back in 10th. Nobody really there on the front straightaway to contend him for it. So he's going to be by himself for quite some time until everybody else decides from P8 up that they want to pit. As SF1 in the Merc has really ran up to the back of Orange Crush within the past few laps.
Yep, the Merc
and he's making a move. He's making a move at
They're
Grand
too
Hotel.
wide. They are too wide, keeping it clean, but he gets around Orange Crush. Beautiful move there by SF1 1776. But now we have a VSC. Do not know what caused it, but we have a virtual safety car now. Amazing move though by the Mercedes driver. Usually that's not an overtaking opportunity there, but he made it happen. That's probably my overtake of the race already.
Right now, Funky Tack he's taking this time to go into his pit box. They're going to bolt on a new set of mediums, and he's being held up in the pit lane here. What's going on? Either he got a front wing change or he had a penalty that he was serving. I'm not quite sure. I didn't see him run into anybody on track, but he's going to lose out. He's going to go down to P7. He's going to fall behind the Mercedes of SF 1776. It's a great number, by the way, American Independence. And back to racing here as Skeppy has moved his way back up into P8. He's going to come through turn 1 and run up the hill into turn 3 Mazenay by himself again. He's got an Alfa Romeo about 1 second behind him, but I believe that is the Alfa Romeo of Big Mr. Brown. Yes, it is, and Mr. Brown, unfortunately, is a lap down, so we will go back up toward the front, where SF1 Tom is running P4.
Oh, Max Space Station to Zonic are going at it into Casino Square. They're running too wide at Casino Square, heading down the hill. Let's see who can get it done. Looks like Max Face Station is going to get the move done onto Zonic there. Sorry to interrupt you, Oliver. I saw that gap closing dramatically, and I had to go.
Oh, what just happened here
action.
up at the front? Redeemer and Cardinal.
Oh!
Redeemer just picked up a penalty, and
Somebody
Maverick
was
in
just
pit
the wall.
lane.
I do not know who it was. Maverick.
Maverick's just come out, and SF1 Tom is hot on his heels coming through turn 1. It's going to be a drag race going up the hill. Maverick's going to cover him off up the ridge, coming up into Mazenay. Maverick's going to get it done. He's going to get heat into the tires coming into Casino Square, and he will be fine by the time they make it to the Grand Hotel hairpin.
Most definitely SF1 Tom, his championship rival.
Well, look at this. SF 1776, he just pitted. He just went in again and has come out with another set of mediums.
Peculiar stuff from the Mercedes driver. He's going to have to pass Orange Crush again.
It almost makes me want to watch him and just follow him until he catches up to Orange Crush so I can see him make a great move again.
As we have Max Space Days right behind him, he's also an aggressive driver that will take interesting risks to make overtakes, but it is thrilling when these aggressive drivers do come to tight street circuits like Monaco, as Max Face Taste is already on his heels, all up in that Mercedes gearbox, planning and methodically thinking his way around that Mercedes. Oh, BRL Skeppy's gonna pick up a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, goodness gracious.
As
Redeemer
and
Cardinal, they're both making their way out now. They both decide to go with mediums, so they're going to go one stop, soft to mediums.
Whiffy Winner right behind SF1 Tom.
And Cardinal's got Skeppy breathing right down his back, breathing right down the gearbox as they climb the hill going into turn 3.
Yep, and Whiffy Winner right on the back of SF1 Tom in the Grand Hotel hairpin as they head into the tunnel now towards the Novell chicane. Whiffy Winner trying to find a way around the championship rival of SF1 Tom. SF1 Tom, though, beautiful defending into the Novell chicane as they head towards the swimming pool section, With the
Well, don't forget, SF1 Tom hasn't made a pit stop yet, so he's
Neither
on
has
old
Whiffy.
mediums.
well,
Well, Whiffy,
has.
according to my calendar, has made a one stop. He started on the softs. Oh, and there goes carbon fiber off the Ferrari. I'm pretty sure he just lost his right front
Whiffy
end
winner
plate.
also has damage. Whiffy winner also has damage, so it would kind of even it up for both of them. It would seem, as we'll be looking at any possible battles. Oh, and there's a car park in Nouvelle Chicane. It's Orange Crush in SF1776. It looks like they got together at the Nouvelle Chicane, but SF1776 is gonna come out ahead. Let's see if any damage on Orange Crush. It looks like he is missing an in-plate. So no clue what happened there, but when I went to go to their camera, it was just a car park. LDR Redeemer's in the pits again. After being second in this race, he's all of a sudden down in 10th. Ritzy Raccoon.
Oh, and we have a retirement. Where is he?
He's
I
at
think
Anthony
he's in pit
Nodes.
lane.
No, he's at Anthony Nodes. He's just retired at Anthony Nodes. So we'll
Oh,
try.
that's a safety car. Safety car. Oh,
So
this
let me
stacks it
try
all back up.
and find. All right, so Mex Israel is the closest car to it, and it's at Raskas, and I think he just binned it at the wall. No, Anthony Nodes. He binned it at the wall. Anthony Nodes. So Mavericks will be.
Israel making a great move here for his race. He's going to come in and bolt on another set as he's serving a time penalty. Unfortunate for him, he's pulled in and just stopped in the box, and they haven't serviced him yet. Now they have, showing him on a set of hard compound tires, I believe. As here comes the Ferrari pit crew. They're going to be working on SF1 Tom. He's going to get a wing change and a brand new set of medium compound tires. As we see Funky Cactus making his way into pit lane again, and Whiffy winner. So all the front runners are deciding to come in and get new rubber on their cars, except for
Skeppy's
Maverick.
up in the third. Skeppy is back up in the third.
Yeah, this is something I guarantee you Maverick did not want to see. Maverick was very happy running about 8 or 9 seconds out in front of the nearest car after the pit cycle. Because remember, SF1 Tom was in P2, but he had not pitted yet, and he was 5.5 seconds behind him. So, correction, the closest car...
SF76 just retired from the session.
He's in pit lane.
Yep. So I guess he called it quits. Hizonic, though, just served a penalty. He's putting on the medium compound tires along with a front wing change. Not going the Brits way today. As definitely BRL Maverick not wanting to have a safety car. But as he catches up to the back of our Mercedes AMG safety car, we will let's take a look at our biggest winners and biggest losers of the race so far, as we're at lap 14 to 39 here at Monaco. So, if we go to position changes, your biggest winners right now are going to be the Ferrari of SF1 Tom. He's in 5th, out from 13th. Your next one is Weiser Square. He started in 9th. He's all the way up to 4th. Orange Crush started dead last. He's on 11th now. And now for your biggest losers, Whiffy winner started 2nd. He's down in 4th. He's down 6th, down 4 positions. Another person, 1776, he's down 7 positions. He's out of this race along with Ritzy Raccoon. And then you also have LDR Redeemer, who's down 3 places. As we would like to thank our affiliates bringing you this coverage, Vertigear, Into the AM, Rogue Energy, Gamer Grind Co., and our merch. Make sure you go ahead and scroll down if you're watching this on a computer and check out our merch. Links to our t-shirts, mouse pads, stickers, anything you want, we got it. Make sure you go ahead and buy our merch. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and subscribe and like the video. And if you're watching this live on Twitch with us right now, make sure you go ahead and follow and subscribe if you can. It means so much to us. It would help us out in the long run, giving prizes out to our champions, etc. And also giving you guys such great content. As Maverick... Oh, and Israel just got disqualified.
Well, he did have a lot. I was just looking in the race directory. He did have a lot of penalties on his side, so it's unfortunate for him. And Mex Face Taste, excuse me, name change, has just picked up a 5-second time penalty Our cleanest car on track right now with the fewest penalties is actually Maverick. He has had one warning for corner cutting, and that's it. He does not have any time penalties. He's drove a very clean race so far today. So we're just going to have to wait and see.
Didn't get disqualified. He's still driving. As I think the safety car is going to be coming in this upcoming lap, so lap 16 heading into lap 17. But Skeppy 2-lap holder tires and his teammate in 3-lap holder tires, the Cardinal ahead of him. And then you also have Weiser Square on 6-lap hold mediums, and then you also have SF1 Tom on 2-lap hold hards. Whiffy Runner 2-lap hold mediums, Funky Cactus 2-lap hold mediums, Max Face Taste 8-lap hold mediums, LDO Redeemer 3-lap hold mediums, Sonic 2's Orange Crush on 1-lap softs. Let's see what else. Big Mr. Brown 7-lap hold mediums, and Max Israel 3-lap hold hards as they're getting their lap backs currently. As Maverick's trying his best to bunch up the grid, making sure everybody gets their tires cold but him. As they're heading into
right
Nova
now what
chicane.
Maverick really needs to be worried about is whenever they make their way down into San Devo, is Cardinal going to use that as his pick? Is he going to use that as his point to try to make an overtake? Is Maverick going to hold up Cardinal and try to get his teammate Skeppy through, as we do see the safety cars coming in this lap?
Yep,
so
the
race
lights are
control
off.
has deemed that we can go green this time by Maverick. Now backing up the pack as we go around swimming pool right now, looking at the beautiful yachts off to the left, and as you can see the garages directly in front of us. Maverick still bunching everybody up, as now he's taken off. He's running into Rascas, but the yellows are still waving.
Oh,
So
he
he's
didn't
not
go
able
yet.
to go just yet.
He decoyed them. Now he's going. Green flag flies here at Monaco. We're entering lap 17. Maverick leads SF1 Cardinal and his teammate BRL Skeppy as they head into San Diego up the hill towards the casino. In the pretty much unchanged part of the track. As into Casino Square goes Maverick, followed by Cardinal, Skeppy, Weiser, Tom, Whiffy, Cactus, Face Taste, Redeemer, Tizonic, Orange, Mr. Brown, and Israel. But it looks like Maverick is really pushing, trying to build that gap to SF1 Cardinal Alderfer.
Yeah, Skeppy doing his best to hold tight to the back of SF1 Cardinal, but he's already lost a second to him according to our timing screen over here on the left. Weiser Square and the McLaren having a great showing for him today. He hasn't been doing as well as he would have hoped this season, as we see him going through the chicane coming out of the tunnel. He's up here in P4. He started down in P9, so he is having a great day compared to what we've seen lately out of that McLaren team. SF1 Tom not far behind him, but he has Whiffy Winner all over his gearbox, ready to make a move, with Funky Cactus right behind him as they come through the final chicane onto the front straightaway. DRS is not available yet, so nobody able to take advantage of that. But look at this. He wants to make a move. He's thinking about it, but he's not able to do it there in San Devo. They're going to run up Bow Ridge as they climb the hill. It's a drag race, but the Ferrari doing very well on the hill climb. Whiffy Winner's just going to have to tuck in back here and try to save his mediums and just wait until SF1 Tom's hards start to have issues and wait for him to make a mistake.
Also, don't forget about Funky Cactus in the Racing Point. Remember, he was battling for second with his teammate earlier in the race. He's down in 7th right now, right behind Whiffy Winner on the gearbox with that Toro Rosso, with Max Face Taste splitting him and his teammate BRL Redeemer. As we go back towards the front of the grid, SF1 Tom, he's looking, what Whiffy Winner's looking at SF1 Tom into Novell chicane. SF1 Tom runs wide. He's kind of got the chicane there. Definitely kind of maybe under review there if it was deemed that he should have given up the position as they head into the swimming pool section. Whiffy Winner still all over the gearbox of that Ferrari. He is trying as hard as he can.
As
SF1 Tom runs wide. Yep, he just hit the wall. Oh my goodness. SF1 Tom, all of his momentum's gone. And SF1 Tom just pushed Whiffy Winner He basically cut him off there as they go up the ridge once again to start lap 19 here at Monaco.
Skeppy just came out of pit lane. He just came out of the pits.
He put on the same tires.
He doesn't have any. He doesn't have any more tires. He must have had wing damage.
Tough luck for Skeppy, but that moves Wiser Square up into 3rd place.
Wow,
that's
there's
another
now a
person.
procession. Look at this procession bottling up behind SF1 Tom. Everybody from P4 all the way down to P10 is stuck behind that Ferrari.
There must be some serious issues with that Ferrari. Maybe a setup error, but we'll see as they head towards the swimming pool section. Whiffy Winner still trying to find a way around that Ferrari. As he's going to be trying his best to move up into 4th. Oh, and Whiffy Winner cuts the chicane there. I think he kind of maybe had a bad run. But he gets a 3-second time penalty for that. As he's going to get DRS here on the main straight. Is it going to be any different? Is it going to make a move in the Santa Fe? I do not think so. SF1 Tom's going to keep a hold onto that 4th place.
Yeah, the DRS zone here is so short. It's really not enough for the car to really make enough of that. You can only get into about 7th gear, which is DRS doesn't really start to take effect and start doing its job until 6th gear, just over 120 mile an hour is where it really starts helping. As there's contact as they go through the Grand Hotel hairpin, SF1 Tom really struggled through the hairpin that time as they come out of this turn, going into the tunnel. Now in the tunnel, Whiffy Winner all over back SF1 Tom. He's going to try to make a move coming down.
Here he comes. Around the outside. Is he going to be able to do it? SF1 Tom's going to push him. But Whiffy Winner, he's not giving up. He's going to try into the swimming pool section, maybe a unlikely overtaking area, but it's not going to be happening. Whiffy Winner's going to stay in 5th as we head into lap 21 here of 39.
Well, Whiffy Winner may just have to get a little crazy and make a move coming into the Nobel chicane that throws off SF1 Tom. And here he goes. He's making another run.
Redeemer's out.
Redeemer's out.
Where did Redeemer
and
crash?
He's going to get the position. He cut SF1 Tom off.
Up in the 4th. But did he make an overtake under yellow flags? Because LDR Redeemer just retired from the race. I don't think so. So Whiffy Winner's going to be up in the 4th now. Tom's going to be down in the 5th with Funky Cactus down in 6th. He's going to try and find a way around Tom. He's going to nudge him a little bit and be like, hey, I'm still here. As Funky Cactus gets a horrible turn. Yep, he gets a horrible hairpin drive. That's going to open up the gap to SF1 Tom there a little bit. Max Face Taste, though, he's struggling to keep on to the back of that racing point as we still have that procession, but it's down to 8th place.
As SF1 Tom now picks up a time penalty. SF1 Tom's just picked up a 3-second time penalty as Funky Cactus looks like he's starting to struggle there into back as the SF1 Tom has just hit the wall in the swimming pool corner on
and so is
left.
Zonic also just hit the wall in 8th place.
SF1 Tom ducking into pit lane now. That's going to give an open position to Funky Cactus.
Oh, so does Max Face Taste. Max Face Taste also in the pits. He gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane though.
Yeah, so Skeppy, who just came out of the pit lane probably 3 laps ago, I'd have to guess, has now made his way back from 10th, back up to 7th, and he's probably going to catch this, what was a procession of cars within the next 4 to 5 laps. So we may see Skeppy back up into the top 5 or making a fight for the top 5 before the end of this race. As I've been looking closely, I think SF1 Cardinal is starting to catch Maverick. Our leader Maverick has basically been in control of this race, but it looks like SF1 Cardinal here later on in the run is starting to catch up to Maverick as we see him pull him in by about a 10th and a half there after they exit the tunnel. So it'll be interesting to see if these two start to have a battle in just a little bit.
It will definitely be interesting to see, will the Renault be able to hold off the Haas on his debut, or will the Haas be able to win his first ever race here at BRL Tier 2 at Monaco? It would be a hell of a race, similar to Jarno Trulli when he won his first and only race it would definitely be something being your first race win being Monaco, as Weiser Square comfortably in third as we have a yellow in sector 3. What's it about? It's gonna be a Ferrari. I think that's Orange Crush. No, it's actually a Big Mr. Brown. He's getting out of the way for everybody as he gets out of the way for Skeppy, who's currently in 7th, hunting down the head of Tazonic. He wants to get around him as soon as possible, but he still has to close about 2 seconds to get there. SF1 Cardinal, though, he's within a second now of Maverick, but Maverick seems to be pulling away a bit on the straights compared to SF1 Cardinal. So it might come down to the wire.
We got a move here for P10. Orange Crush trying to make a move in San Devoto on Mex Israel. It's strange. We saw earlier that Mex Israel was disqualified,
Yeah, Mex face
but it
stage.
looks to me like he's in
Mex
that
face
car.
Mex Israel hits the wall though. I thought Orange just lagged. I think he's lagging really badly. But Mex face states makes a move around Orange Crush. Gonna make a move around Mex Israel as well. It's gonna be interesting to see is these guys race for the same racing team but not the same tier team. As one's driving for Haas and the other Red Bull, as Max face stage tries to make a move down the inside in the tunnel, and he is not going to be able to do it on Max Israel. Max Israel defending well into Novell chicane, but he runs up. Wow, he kind of just got the chicane there. He overcooked it, so he built a gap. He's definitely going to have to concede that gap, even though he got a 3-second time penalty, but he is definitely holding up the fast charging Max face taste. And there's contact. Orange Crush is in the wall at Rascas. And the Ferrari, is he going to be pitting this? Is he going to be going for the pits? He is. He's going to go for a wing change. As it looks like SF1 Cardinal has lost ground to Maverick. Maverick seems to finally build some ground up from SF1 Cardinal, which is good news for the Renault, but not so good news for the Haas, as he just closed up massively there at Rascas. Maybe a little bit of a mistake there from our race leader, Alderfer.
Yeah, I've been following this battle up front ever since you started looking back there around P9 and P10. SF1 Cardinal made a slight mistake in the hairpin that cost him some time on the last lap, but then Maverick braking a little early and Cardinal braking late into Rascas has brought him back up here to about where they were just a lap ago just now. As they're going to catch up to Mex Israel, they're both going to have to make their way around the Red Bull, as Maverick goes a little wide there as he comes into the Grand Hotel hairpin. Makes a beautiful left-hand turn coming out of there. Remember, folks, you have to have a special steering rack in these cars just to be able to make this turn. It's the only track on the circuit where they have to put a special steering rack in this car just to be able to make the hairpin. But SF1 Cardinal seems like he might be struggling with tire temperature now. It's something that we were talking about earlier, but I can see in some of the corners where you really got to rely on the tires making mechanical grip. He's just not had it here lately. He's having to let off a lot more than normal. And you can also see, if you follow along on his onboard, he's starting to deal with a little bit of oversteer. So I'm still very, very interested if he's going to catch Maverick or not, but Maverick's still driving a beautiful race. He's commanded this race since the green. So since lights out, Maverick has done his job. We'll just have to see if he's able to continue that as he puts time in between himself and Cardinal. But I don't know. I'd really love to see Cardinal catch up to him and fight for this win in the closing laps, as we only have about 14 laps to go. Right now, the closest battle on track is going to be our two leaders and Funky Cactus trying to run down Whiffy Winner. So these are the two battles we're going to be focusing on right now. Another car I want to touch on real quick is Weiser Square, the McLaren, running in P3. Again, he hasn't been doing that well this season. He's been very upset with himself in chat after races from what's been happening to him, but he seems to be making a very good showing for himself in the McLaren at Monaco today here in Monte Carlo. I'll be very happy to see him on the podium if he can hold this. The nearest competition to him is 5 seconds back, so all he needs to do is just hold on and stay where he is, and he'll have a wonderful day today.
Most definitely, and I can relate. I remember last season in Tier 2 when I used to race, I was having a tough season until Monaco, where I found myself P2 after qualifying, as Weiser Square actually just gets a 3-second time penalty there. But as I was saying, I was having a tough season, and then I came into Monaco and I practiced and I practiced and I practiced. I ended up finishing P2 on the podium. It was my first podium in Tier 2. So hopefully this can turn around Wiser Square season for the better, as it looks like SF1 Cardinal is now closing in on Maverick. He was within 7/10 of a second there, but Maverick seems to have better straight line speed than the Haas driver. As we're heading into the Grand Hotel hairpin here, he's gonna get a real good look at that back of that Renault that he's gonna be staring at for the next about 13 laps here, Oliver.
Yeah, the straight line speed is really coming from the ERS deployment. SF1 Cardinal isn't using his ERS in the same manner that Maverick is in the Renault. Maverick's really saving his ERS as much as he can, and then on those short shoot straightaways that we have on this track, he keeps turning it up to get those good runs to try to build a gap. So as you can see, if we follow along with Maverick right here, he's only running in ERS deployment mode 2, and then as we get onto the front straightaway, we'll probably see him turn that up to either high or into overtake. We'll see what he does here. He's leaving it in 2 because he's probably only got 30% of ERS left in the battery, and they're both running about the same on energy reserves. So it's really come down to an ERS game of who can manage it and who can push it when they need to, as Maverick has pulled out a slight gap over SF1 Cardinal. He put about 5/10 on him just in sector 1 right there.
Most certainly, and it looks like Maverick has his advantages and his weaknesses, and so does Cardinal on this course. But one person that is just pulling away from the car ahead of them is Wiser Square, and he's actually kind of closing the gap on Maverick a bit there, on the between Cardinal and Maverick. So if he pushes hard enough, we might be able to see Wiser Square up there near the end of the race. As we're going to be looking down towards the bottom of the field, Orange Crush and Mex Israel, they look to be going at it for the last point position. Orange Crush running in 11th with Mex Israel in 10th. Orange Crush, of course, had to make a stop a few laps ago for a wing change after he hit the wall at Rascas after a collision with Mex Israel. He spins again at Rascas. The commentator's curse strikes again, almost hits Wiser Square there. He's just kind of a sitting duck there right now, Alderfer.
You know, Blue Flag, if you keep giving commentators curse, pretty soon they're not going to want us to commentate anymore, so you should really stop doing that.
Who cares? Anyways, it's kind of a car park right now for the Ferrari, the number 93 of Orange Crush. He spins again. Not going his way. Tough race for him as Maverick 1.2 ahead of SF1 Cardinal, as there's actually a car.
Mephaestes just ate the wall in the final chicane there coming onto the front straightaway. He was looking to get around. Yeah, he was looking to get around SF1 Tom.
He just hit the wall again. Mephaestes struggling. He has horrible wing damage now, and without a doubt needs to get into the pits as fast as he can. He almost takes out SF1 Tom there. Tom's going to move up into 8th. He's going to try and hunt down BRL Skeppy, who's over a half a minute ahead of him.
Another battle brewing here on track as they go through swimming pool is going to be Whiffy Winner and Funky Cactus fighting for P4. Right now, Whiffy Winner is sitting pretty in P4, but he does have that racing point chasing him down. He does have DRS this time around, and he has a lot of ERS to burn. He's got 50% of the battery in there. So we'll probably see, he's got 90% of the battery in there. So we'll probably see him trying to run down Whiffy Winner with some crazy ERS modes here in the next few laps that we can try to make a pass.
Yeah, and it would be great to see that racing point up into 4th after seeing them in 2nd and 3rd earlier in the race, but unfortunately his teammate LDO Redeemer crashing out of the race and retiring in the pit lane as they head out of the Grand Hotel hairpin down into the tunnel. What are your predictions for the end of the race, Alderfer?
Well, currently it looks like Maverick is going to be the commander of this race. He's going to go from lights out to the checkered flag, and he's going to lead it the whole way. He's done very good at his tire management. We can see that he's on 19 lap old mediums, and he's still on fire, doing very well holding off that gap to SF1 Cardinal. And as we have a yellow in sector 2, oh, we have a car stopped just in front of the tunnel. Looks like that was Orange Crush. Orange Crush, he's got wing damage. He just had to blip the throttle there coming out of the tunnel so he wouldn't hit the wall on driver's left. So that's unfortunate for him. He's lost a lot of his wing on the left front. But my basic prediction is going to be Maverick is probably going to hold on to this lead and win this race. As Orange Crush is out.
VSC.
And where is he going out at?
Swimming pool.
Swimming pool. That could pull a safety car.
VSC's out right now. I doubt a safety car is going to come out. This opens up a world of opportunities if you're near the pit lane, which nobody is, unfortunately. So that puts us down to 11 runners in this race.
Somebody just went in.
That's
SF1 Tom.
Oh,
yeah, he's
that's going to be interesting.
He's getting a new front wing, and they just bolted on a set of softs. So he's going to go to the end on a brand new set of boot scooting tires, and he's going to be very light later in the race, lower fuel load, and we're back to green flag racing. And
it looks like SF1 Cardinal lost a bit of time there under VSC to BRL Maverick. Maverick, though, starting lap 32. Elio Redeemer finally leaves the session. With our, how many viewers do we have? 21 viewers. Make sure you guys make yourself known in the chat. Make sure you also put in your votes for driver of the day for the Monaco GP, as we will be having our top 3 in the booth here after the race with us for the post-driver interview questions. Of course, like always, Funky Cactus, though, still on the back of Toro Rosso of Whiffy Winner. The two
check this out.
Battling.
Hey, there's something going on up front right here. So SF1 Cardinal just really lost time to Maverick, but he allowed his teammate Face Taste to go through, who's on a brand new set of softs. So as he is now caught up to the back of Maverick, is it possible that we're going to see him get out in front of Maverick?
He's ghosted.
And but his ghost can affect people. Just look at how it is when you're in time trial and you've got that rival's ghost out in front of you. Sometimes it can really distract you and really throw off your turn-in points. So now that he's in front of Maverick, is he going to try and stay there?
Oh, he's already lost. He's already lost a bunch of time to SF1 Cardinal. Cardinal's within a second now of our race leader, so it seemed to be working. As Tazonic now so Cactus is now in he's in a Toro Rosso sandwich. Tazonic is closing in on Cactus, who was battling his fellow countryman of Whiffy Winner. But it doesn't look like he's able to keep up. Tire wear might be a huge factor setting in now, as these tires are reaching 20 laps.
Tazonic's starting to creep in on the back of Funky Cactus now. He's been reeling him in ever since the VSC went out.
Look how close Cardinal is to Maverick now, and also look how much Wiser Square is closed in as he gets a little bit loose heading into the tunnel. But now Cardinal, half a second separates him and the race lead, as it's going to come down. It's definitely going to come down to the wire here as they come through into the swimming pool section. Maverick really fast through this section. He just gained 3/10 there as Whiffy Winner gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Into Rascast, a little bit of lockup there from Maverick as he without a doubt has to be feeling the pressure. Next, Face Day sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:13.082. But SF1 Cardinal is still there and still charging against Maverick. Maverick, just all he has to do is just hold out for another 6 laps here, or 5 laps here. My apologies. Or 6. I was correct. It was 6.
Yeah, Cardinal very late on the brakes, getting into Casino, and now they're coming through the hairpin. He's right on the gearbox of Maverick every time they come through there, but he just seems to lose him through the end of Sector 2 and most of Sector 3. SF1 Cardinals Haas just isn't quite able to make up the ground that it needs to on the Renault in order to make a move. So he may have to start getting really dicey here. He might want to go ahead and turn ZRS off, save it up and the last few laps really go at it hard and come at Maverick when Maverick may not be ready for it with his ERS charge.
Yep, that would be the best course of action now as we are
Side by
coming
side
down-
racing into back. We just had a pass. Funky Cactus
Oh!
just passed Whiffy Winner into back.
Great move on his countrymen, the two Canadians, dicing it out as Winner hits a little bit of the wall.
Hitting the wall.
Funky Cactus a little bit of a lock up at the grass cast. As Whiffy's dives into the pits, he's definitely going to be putting on soft compound tires. Tizonek's going to move up in the 5th. Skeppy up in the 6th. Skeppy is right there with Tizonek. He might be looking at a P5 position finish as Skeppy hits the wall a little bit there. I don't think that he caused any damage. Didn't. So he's 1.7 behind on Tizonek. Tizonek, though, within a second of Funky Cactus, the man who just passed his teammate. As Weiser Square lost about 3 seconds to Estefan Cardinal and Maverick. Maverick, though, lost a lot of time there. He's down to about 0.6 of a second into Novell Chicane. Cardinal really late on the brakes. I don't know how he's able to do it, but then he loses so much time on the corner exit where Maverick just gains so much, and it's up to almost a second the gap into the swimming pool section into Rascas. They're ready to start lap 36 with about 4 laps left in this race.
Yeah, just watching here on the live stream, I'm watching that back as they went into the Naval Chicane. He's very late on the brakes, but he's sacrificing his exit for his entry. He's trying to be so fast on entry that his apex is not at the right spot. So it's really hurting him on exit. So if he were to just clean up Naval Chicane, that's where he's been losing his time every lap. If he were to clean that up just a little bit, he could be on Maverick's gearbox.
Funky Cactus is in the pits. BRL Skeppy moves up in the 5th, Tizonek up in the 4th. But with Funky Cactus has a front wing change, he's in 6th. Is he going to come out ahead of Funky Whiffy Winner, I should say? And it looks like he will just come ahead of the Toro Rosso, as it's going to be closer. They're going to be running side by side. Whiffy Winner gets him. Whiffy Winner is going to be jumping Funky Cactus as they both made an unscheduled pit stop for wing damage. Skeppy, though, up in the 5th after having to make 2 additional stops, if I'm correct, as Cardinal coming down to 3 to go.
You are actually incorrect. Skeppy is on a 1 stop.
Skeppy, well, he's made multiple stops.
According to this, look at the telemetry. It says he's on a 1 stop. He's only stopped 1 time.
Well, because he stopped for multiple wing damages, remember?
Well, that's strange then. I wonder why here on our telemetry it shows that he's only on a 1 stop. But yeah, you are right. He did stop and get a wing change, but he didn't get new tires. So that's strange that it's not counting that on our screen. I apologize.
So down to 3 to go here at Monaco. Cardinal still trying to chase down the Renault of Maverick. Funky Cactus gets a 3-second time penalty. He's definitely going to try and push for that 6th position. He's about 3 seconds back on Whiffy Winner right now. BRL Skeppy, though, up in the 5th, so he definitely has to be feeling good after dropping down to plumb last, basically, several times this race. Let's see where Cardinal and Maverick are. They're heading towards the swimming pool section. Of course, Cardinal, once again, he sacrifices that exit, like you said, for that corner entry, and it just costs him massively because he gets down to a half a second.
And Maverick needs to be really careful right here for these last few laps. I've just gone through the race director. Cardinal has 0 warnings. He's the cleanest driver out on track according to race director. But Maverick has 2 warnings. So if Maverick cuts 1 more corner, that's going to boot him a 3-second time penalty, and that's going to lose him the win of this race. So Maverick has to push to stay in front.
Too. Oh, looks like I got cleared straight away.
Funky Cactus looped it in the Naval Chicane.
As we have 2 laps to go, we're on the penultimate lap here at Monaco. Cardinal, he's been pushing all race. He just hasn't been able to find a way around Maverick. Maverick, all he has to do is just keep the car in front of Cardinal, and he has Monaco in his trophy cabinet. As we're heading down towards the Novell Chicane, he's going to break really late here once again. Actually, he got really good corner exit there, but Maverick just a straight line. He has such good acceleration on his setup that he just pulls away into the swimming pool section. The gap 1.1 down to less than a second here, 7/10. Probably down to 5/10 here. Yes, sir, it does. As we head into 1 to go here at Monaco.
Yeah, coming here to the last lap, SF1 Cardinal trying to use all the ERS that he has left. Well, he has DRS going down the straightaway, but he's not able to get close enough to Maverick to make a move. Climbing the hill for the last time, they come into Mazenave. Maverick has a very good line through there. They go through the chicane here, making the run down the hill as they're about to make this right-hander to come up to the Grand Hotel hairpin for the last time. Maverick holding off SF1 Cardinal in the Haas very well. He's done it all race long. We're going to see if he makes any mistakes. Any mistake now will cost him this race. Reminder, he does have 2 warnings. So one more cut could cost him this race. He's far enough out in front. He just needs to be very careful to stay inside the track limits as he comes down into the Nouveau chicane. Hard on the brakes. SF1 Cardinal trying to do everything he can to get to the back of him, but it's too little too late. Coming through to back, they now run around the swimming pool as they're making their run through this final chicane till they get to right here. Last time where they get hard on the brakes. Cardinal not able to get close enough, makes a small mistake on corner entry there. It's going to be Maverick coming across to win the Monaco Grand Prix.
Yeah, and Cardinal's gonna come home in second. Wiser Square though, he is gonna come home in P3 with 7 seconds ahead of Tizonic.
Well, we have to wait. He did incur a lot of penalties. We'll have to wait and see if Tizonic catches him and passes him on penalties.
It will be definitely interesting to see as here comes Tizonic. Is it going to be P3 for Tizonic? It is not!
Wiser Square the McLaren secures his first podium of the season.
Amazing job for the McLaren team. They have to be thrilled with that. Liffey winner though is going to come home in P6. Funky Cactus is going to come home in P7. P8 is going to be belonging to Mex Face Taste. And then we will be waiting for Big Mr. Brown to come across the line as SF1 Tom crashed out in the last lap, sadly. He only has secured 1 point. Oh, and Big Mr. Brown just had a huge wreck. A huge wreck in the swimming pool section. As he's trying to get it turned around. Come on, buddy, you got this.
Yeah, fun fact on Big Mr. Brown, he's actually made 7 stops, 7 visits to the pit crew on this race.
Incredible by Big Mr. Brown, as he's going to be the last car to cross the line, and that is going to be your Monaco Grand Prix. Amazing race for Maverick as he picks up his, I think, 2nd win of the season in SF1 Cardinal. Sorry, I'm losing my words. SF1 Cardinal in his debut gets P2, and Wiser Square gets his podium debut in P3.
Yeah, really beautiful drive by everybody on the podium. Maverick commanding the race as soon as the lights went out, all the way, excuse me, until the checkered flag flew. SF1 Cardinal giving it everything he had, but unfortunately could not get close enough to make that pass. Wiser Square starting in 9th, finishes 3rd on the podium. That's his first podium of the season. Hopefully we'll be able to see the McLaren driver making a lot more fights like he did today.
All right, in time for your final grid review of the Monaco Grand Prix. BRL Maverick's going to take it home in first place in the Renault, followed by the Haas of SF1 Cardinal. Wiser Square is going to come on P3, Tizonic P4. Skeppy, we have 3 Canadians in 5th, 6th, and 7th of Skeppy, Whiffy Winner, and Funky Cactus. The Chile driver, Mex Face Taste, comes home in 8th. Mex Israel is going to come home in 9th. SF1 Tom's going to come home in 10th, with our 4th Canadian, Big Mr. Brown, in 11th. He's going to be the last of your finishers. And now for your non-finishers, Orange Crush, LDO Redeemer, SF1776, and Ritzy Raccoon. That's going to round out your finishing order here at the Monaco Grand Prix. And now time for your favorite part, the post-race interviews with me and Aldifer. So it looks like we already have 2 people in here.
Yeah, right now is we're getting English.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's
But
lovely.
does he speak? Because
No, he speaks no English.
I know, but like, neither does McFaceface and translator.
Doesn't matter. He
Okay,
won't say, he
whatever.
doesn't know.
Go ahead and take it away, Aldifer.
Well, here we have our drivers that literally fought all race long ever since they came out of the pits. Maverick and Cardinal making a beautiful Monaco Grand Prix for us to watch today. A beautiful race for us to commentate. Just going to start off with Maverick. Maverick, you had a beautiful drive. You basically commanded the race almost like a Lewis Hamilton from the time the lights went out all the way till the checkered flag. You were in the lead, and it looked like you were in control of that car and having a great time running out there in P1 by yourself for a little while. And then we had that safety car that came out. Just give us your opinion on the race and what you thought coming across the line to win the Monaco Grand Prix.
It was a good race, smooth, fun. You know, my goal was just no penalties, don't hit the wall, and I did that, and you know, stayed in first the whole time. So it was, you know, happy with that. You know, it's a good time. It was nice to have Cardinal there towards the last few laps just to keep me honest. But it was fun. I felt confident the whole time. So glad Skeppy got a decent result as well, so we can help the team out because you know we need it. But you know we're getting there. Things are good.
Yeah, unfortunate for Skeppy being involved in that contact in Casino with Cardinal, so we may see some action and steerage reports after the race, but good work from you, Maverick, with a beautiful drive. It was a good finish for Renault. Your teammate did fall all the way down to P10, I believe, and made his way back up to P5, so congratulations to the Renault team today on a very successful Monaco race. SF1 Cardinal, moving on to you, man, finishing P2 on your BRL debut. Congratulations. You drove a wonderful race today. It seemed like there was a bit of controversy there at the beginning. Just talk us through, you know, what happened at the beginning of the race between you and Skeppy, and then how you just decided to finish out the race in the way that you did.
Okay. Yeah, turn one, Whiffy, it looks like Whiffy oversteered into that corner, which gave me an opening. And of course, being new and everything and not knowing guys, I was a little hesitant to just go. I should have just kept going, probably full into it. But that gave me the opportunity to get into up behind the leaders. And then from there on out, it was just a matter of just trying to keep up. And my hat's off to Maverick. I could make several charges. I could get close in the braking zones, but I just didn't have the pull away power towards the end. I must have recharged 3 or 4 times to make a run at him at the end there. But he ran a solid race in front of me. I was pushing as hard as I could, and yeah, it was exciting. It's nice to get a podium. Nice to see where I stack up against new racers anyway. So yeah, I enjoyed
welcome.
it.
Welcome.
Yeah, glad to have
league.
you here, man.
Yeah,
Welcome to the league. You made a great race today.
Yeah, I apologize
to see
if
you
I
next
did
week.
something. I apologize to anybody out there if I did something wrong. I know I really didn't feel anything through my race as far as the incident. So we'll see what washes out, and I'm good with it.
Well, you know, just wanted to touch on something real quick. You were the only 2 drivers in the field that did not incur a single time penalty, which is something that a lot of drivers really can't do here at Monaco. It's a track that really needs a lot of concentration, discipline, and also a lot of patience. We saw a lot of guys early on in the race that were struggling behind the procession of cars that were behind BRL Skeppy, you know, so I'm very, very glad for the 2 of y'all to run such a wonderful, clean race and give us such a good battle there at the end. As commentators, it was a wonderful battle to commentate on. We thank you both very much for your attendance today, and we can't wait to see y'all next week.
Great.
And be sure
Great.
to tune
We'll be
in
there.
Tier 1 in a half an hour, boys. That's going to be good. If you thought that was
Cool.
good, Tier 1 is going to be...
That was
Nice.
my job, but
Hey,
Blue
do what I
flag said,
want.
Quit taking my job.
anyways, if you enjoyed the stream tonight, make sure you go ahead and tune into Tier 1 at 10 p.m. Eastern with Dan the Man and whoever else he has coming in today. I have no clue.
Root
It
for
changes
me.
every week. Make sure you go ahead and cheer on all of the fast drivers in Xbox here. in North America and Oceanic drivers. Also, make sure you tune in Monday, Tier 3 with Exia. He's going to be streaming, and make sure you tune in Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, Formula 2 with me, and then back here, 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday night for Canada with Aldifer and myself once again. Make sure you check out our affiliates, Vertigear, Into the AM, Rogue Energy, Gamer Grind Co., and our merch designed by humans. Make sure you also just have a great day, everybody. Make sure you go ahead and check out our Tier 1 race. It's going to be crazier than what Tier 2 was. And with that being said, see y'all later and have a